E-commerce store owners, are you trying to increase your subscribers and sales? In this video, I'm going to show you how I helped my e-commerce client increase their revenue 125,000 while maintaining a 10x ROAS using YouTube and Performance Max ads. Okay, as you can see in the ad account here, the results, 10x ROAS from November 1st to January 27th, 2023, a 10x ROAS, 28K in conversion value with about 4.66K conversions, about 12K in spend. These are the results. And the first problem that was wrong with this account prior is the Performance Max campaign. So if I click in here, the Performance Max structure prior to me taking over, if you go to asset groups, there was only one asset group with multiple different signals lumped together, which were affinities, in-markets, remarketing, and all the such, all for all their products. So this essentially, when you have too many signals that are not relevant to the images and products being shown, it becomes a mismatch of images, the audiences, depending on where in the funnel. So what I did as a solution to this low performing setup is I segmented the creative, signal, and products that are being targeted to perform best. So the first signal here is a remarketing signal that's mixed up with multiple different products that could be seen because these people are already familiar with the brand. So they'll be showing the right products that they recently saw in more general branded images. Next, I created a more targeted segment that would be their key demographic and keywords that they would be searching. So Google could find this cold audience more easily and took creative, hyper specific to this audience and product match so that it could essentially find this audience the easiest way possible and essentially cut the learning curve. Because the thing with Performance Max and any of these machine learnings is, in theory, they'll eventually figure out who the audience is, but they're going to burn a lot of your money and you won't be as efficient as quickly. Next, same thing for this one. So I created about 3 different versions of this to essentially get cold audiences for their key product categories. And typically I recommend at least one asset group for each product category on your site, one remarketing signal at least, and having creative, including videos for these assets so that they're scalable. So you can have videos within these asset groups as well as images. So if we click in asset groups here, this is another thing they didn't have video, so Google would automatically create them. So you want to put relevant videos to the products that they're advertising. Make sure that the final URL is being sent to the product page that's the most relevant as well. Okay, next, outside of those cold keyword audiences, the next one I had that worked very well is having competitors lookalike audience. So this can be similar to the remarketing where you can have either more general branded products, or you could have specific creative that shows your unique selling proposition against your competitors when you really want to scale this up here. And those are the main ones. And I also tested ticket and market ticket audiences, and I paused that because it wasn't performing as well. And if we look at the listing group breakdown, you can also see what was performing better over this time range, sorted by cost. And the biggest difference here is you can see essentially which listing groups are performing the best based on return on ad spend. So you can see the competitors audience targeting all products, more general, has a 9x return versus some of the other keyword audiences that aren't performing as well, that are getting more clicks. So this got a really big order, and you can see basketball is performing really good. So with these insights, you can basically scale or try to refresh creative on low performing ones and try to push scale on better performing ones. Cool. Next, the other problem they had was YouTube. So this comes to push more awareness on YouTube so that they could have more branding and get more sales. So what I did is I set up a specific few YouTube campaigns. Typically, the ways I set it up is having a warm remarketing YouTube campaign, a cold a cold competitors YouTube campaign targeting visitors of competitors' channels, because that works so good on Performance Max. And then a custom segment keywords campaign from the best performing insights on Performance Max. So you can kind of see a trend here that we're consistently using the data insights from Performance Max to supplement other campaigns, and then looking at performance accordingly. So if you look at this first cold competition competitors, you can look into ad groups here, and we have a competitor's ad group that's a custom signal similar to Performance Max, like I mentioned. And we're testing multiple different videos. I typically recommend at least 3 to 5 videos, depending on your niche and how much you're spending. We're spending a good amount, so it's good to basically see which ones are spending the most, which has the best cost per view and view rate, so these can get more conversions and more subscribers. So you can see which campaigns are driving the most subscribers for this account, which increased to over 3,500 plus subscribers from 0. So you can see what's really performing well, what has the lowest cost per subscriber, targeting the competitor placements. You can also analyze the placements report here to essentially make sure that this lookalike signal that you're giving Google is actually relevant by looking at seeing where your ads placed here, and you can negative match certain things as well. Next, I have a audience for custom segment keywords, because with the new YouTube ads update, you can no longer just target topics, key or display keywords or placements, essentially using a conversion focused bidding strategy. So the workaround to this is to essentially create an audience within ad groups. So if, for example, if I want to target a certain sport keyword, I would then go to audience, and then I can wait for this to load up. And you can see the audience that I'm using that is also in Performance Max is working really good on YouTube as well, driving a lot of subscribers. That's essentially helping this account scale, and is one of the campaigns that I'm testing. So these are the main campaign types and audiences. And like I mentioned, with creative, you want to constantly be refreshing creative. And some insights you can really get on if ads need to be refreshed with creative is if you go to your columns and you click on this, and you can look at conversions is one metric you can look at, which you can essentially see view rate and sort a view rate and kind of look at that. And if you tend to see videos with a lower view rate, that's one indicator that there's an audience mismatch. However, you can also look at the views tab to see percentage of video viewed as well, to see if there's any reason you should swap out a creative so that other videos can get essentially more clicks and impressions as well. So that will really help scale your YouTube ads campaigns too.
If you found this video helpful and you'd like me to run your YouTube and Performance Max ads to increase your revenue, book a free one-on-one consultation below.